All right, here we are in America. Update on the shower project. So I'm going to turn this old, what used to be supposedly a walk-in closet, which it really was not, into a shower inside a bedroom. And then I'm going to have a toilet, sink. That's going to be a linen closet. And I'm using a linear drain, so I use this tile saw, wet saw here to cut out the notch for the floor. And I'm gonna try to cheat and not do a rubber pan like you're supposed to do because I'm on a slab and because it's my house and because I want to do an experiment. So I'm gonna find out what happens. But anyway, so I'm putting the hole in here to get the trap in, and I have to run this pipe through the wall to the other side. And in order to dig the hole through there to get the pipe in, I'm using my tunnel machine. So that thing works like a charm. Hopefully I can pop a 2-inch pipe through there and come through this wall. It's gonna come through about here and get that tied on and get both drains tied into this stack here. So normally I wouldn't want to tie 2 drains into a 2-inch line, but hey, it's my house, so I can control how many showers are getting taken at a time, and I don't have any building codes or nothing in this area, so sky's the limit. Time for a quick update on the tile project. So jackhammered up a hole in the floor, and I've got a 4-inch line coming into 3-inch stack vent. It's coming out the top, so I'm gonna have to dig all the way down there and cut that 90 out and tie into it with a Y, and then come over and pick up my toilet. So I gotta do it all through that hole basically, because I can't go in the other room and jackhammer up that tile to get to it. I guess I could, but that's just a big mess. So that's disappointing. Here's my little spots here for my soap dispensers on this side. Coming on around. The backer board is up. It's ready to go. So I can start laying tile today, and that's exciting. So I use some of that sanded grout caulking in this hole down here, because that stuff stays really good and flexible to seal my bottom edge. So that's stuff I had left over. I've been sitting in the garage for quite a while, so I figured I'd use it up. But I hadn't used it before, but it looks promising. And I did the inside corners as well with that. So got a lot of seams here. One thing I like to do on my seams is try to make it so that the tile is going to overlap the seams and cover them up. So I pay attention to that when I'm doing stuff. Anyway, on to the next thing. Cutting tile, yay. All right, so here I am at the hole of death, trying to get this toilet tied in. So I had a 4-inch fitting coming up and tying into my 3-inch. First thing I did was cut that out of the way with the Sawzall. I had to make the hole big enough to get the Sawzall to be able to fit inside of the hole to cut that off. Then the next step was to cut this fitting out of the way so that I had more room. And once I got that cut out of the way, then I was able to reach up inside of that pipe and cut it off using a Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel, putting it on the inside of the pipe and cutting that off. And then I had to do a little bit more digging to get the pipe exposed. So now I have a 4-inch that'll be able to tie into a 3-inch and hopefully get that connected. And then I can come up with a 90 off of the, end here and be able to tie my toilet flange in, which is gonna sit, I don't know, somewhere in here probably. And that'll be 12 inches off of the wall to center. So that's my next step. Okay, so that right there is probably one of the most difficult connections I've ever made in my life. But I got it hooked up. So just barely caught the flange here because I had to get enough clearance to be able to get it in there and then lift it up. Fortunately, when I greased the pipe up with glue, it gave me a little bit more play than what I had when I was trying to dry fit it because it was super tight. So we got it in there. Okay, here we are back at the bathroom toilet project. So I got my sweep tee in there, and I'm gonna probably stick that 2-inch 45 in. Looks like it might work. Got my riser for my toilet, and then I jackhammered up this hole in the floor here to get this guy in there. And I basically did that by flipping this upside down, tracing the outline of it, and then using this rig right there to drill holes all the way around, because that helps them keep vertical. Because if I was just jackhammering straight, then you have a tendency things crack and go sideways and do weird stuff. So anyway, I got that in there. So my next step is to cut a piece of 2-inch pipe and feed that down underneath the hole. So I took a vacuum cleaner and vacuumed out a hole through there so I can get the pipe in. So now I'm gonna get a length on that and see if I can't shove that pipe in there without completely filling it full of dirt. Okay, so I heated this guy up with the heat gun, and I put this short fitting on here to get my spacing. Stuck it on the end of the pipe, heated this up, and then trying to get this flat with the floor to make an offset so that I can get it to fit up underneath the concrete. So hopefully this is gonna work if I can get it to cool. But as you can see, I'm sweating in there. It's pretty daggum hot today. Okay, so I got everything glued together finally. I got pretty close to the right angle on that pipe there. Once I fill this up with sand, I'll have to kind of see if I can't adjust this just a smidgen more to get this drain to fit flat, but it's pretty dang close. And then this side for my toilet flange, I stuck it in there and got my measurement, and then stuck a bucket on it to hold it while the glue dries. And once everything dries up, I should be good. And then once the cement's in there, it'll hold everything in place. So I'm gonna take some sand now, and I'm gonna layer the bottom of this trench with sand to support the pipe, at least halfway up the pipe. So that's my next step. So now we are supported halfway up the pipe. Used a tool to get in there, work all the way around the edges, make sure all the sand is tamped in there good and underneath the pipe to support it. Once I'm up above halfway, then I can use the gravel and stuff that I removed out of here to backfill. And went ahead and filled this side as well. And then I'm gonna have to do a little bit more work to try to force some of that sand back up under there, but I think we're pretty good. So I'm gonna finish backfilling this, and then I only want to backfill it to the bottom of the depth of the concrete-ish. And then I'm going to pour my cement and mortar mix in there to fill up the rest of the hole. Okay, so now I got the hole filled up, and it's about, I don't know, 1.5 inches or so from the bottom of the concrete. I'm gonna call that good, so that way it gets a good bond. And make sure you pull any of your big rocks or anything out of there, any roots or pieces of wood or anything like that that can decompose. And then I use my tamper stick to tamp everything down, and started from the back, work my way toward the front. So now that that's all tamped down, I can start mixing some concrete poured in there. All right, so now we're all cemented in and ready to go. Just gotta let that dry, and then we'll be able to set tile, do whatever we want to do.